Good evening, fine folks. Welcome to the 49th episode of the Recce Report. Good evening, folks. As I said, my name's Cliff Purvis. I am a former British Army corporal.
My name's Russ. I'm a former British Army warrant officer.
And
Here we are again, Cliff.
yeah, we are. It's a lovely, lovely sunny Monday in July. The kingdom has been basking in blue skies, sunshine, and the Tartan Army's outstanding contribution to world peace.
Absolutely. A little bit of Scottish cheer spread around the world, and you've got to hand it to them. You know, they've got that reputation. Have had it for quite a few years now, which is good. And it's clear that the people that cause the trouble at Scottish football are not the people then that follow the Tartan Army.
Yeah,
they were phenomenal. I love it, mate. The people of Boston were really welcoming, and well done, the Tartan Army. Winners, everyone.
Yeah, and my one claim to fame from the World Cup so far is I've actually spoken to the guy that put the cone on top of Robbie Burns' statue outside of Boston. The first name was Ryan. I can't remember his second name, but apparently he's all over social media, thousands and millions of followers, etc., etc. But actually, through my work, I was chatting to him. And he was chatting about things. And yes, I was very envious of what they're doing out there. It was absolutely fantastic effort. However, that's the happy side of things. Now we've got to move on to the less than joyful side of things. And again, folks, prior to coming on air, myself and Russ, we do a wee get together over the weekend prior to us coming on there, just to get some sort of running order together that we then throw out the window and go on and talk about other things, usually during the live show. But it got quite heated with the two of us, because what we're going to talk about just now is just really, really gripping people, and it's still, I think, probably one of the most serious threats we face here in Scotland, and that, of course, is the Reform Party. But Nigel Farage, Ross, I think he's shot himself in the foot.
I don't know what he's. Well, I think I know what he's thinking. There's because he's resigned as an MP, then the standards inquiry is paused. And I think he's trying to do the Trump thing of get re-elected in Clacton to then say, well, the people have spoken. It's pointless looking into me. I've got a democratic mandate, which is really, it's like that makes no sense, because there's still parliamentary rules. If he does get re-elected, then the standards inquiry just resumes. That's how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. He shot himself in the foot because, we spoke about the fact that that the British public can't really be trusted to vote the way you want them to vote. Or we were talking about Boaty McBoatface, which is the pretty popular vote. So standing against Count Binface is it's backfired, especially since all the other parties were like, yeah, you crack on.
They played an absolute blinder. They seen exactly what Farage was about. This was his egotism kicking in. Yeah, and they went, no, we're not going to play your game. We don't have to. We do not have to stand candidates. So, you're on your own. And then Count Binface, no, well, actually, I had to do a U-turn on the way home there. My intergalactic cruiser did a U-turn. And
it's phenomenal watching the media trying to paint Count Binface as the establishment figure, as the foreign-funded nefarious interloper, and it just shows you the complicity, the duplicity of the kind of British state media. That there's got to be something going on, because who would dare stand up to our Nige?
Yeah. I mean, the UK has always had a tradition in the constituency vote of there's always someone standing there for for whatever, monster raving loony party, that type of
They're
thing.
standing in Clacton as well, I believe.
Are they? Good show. Yeah, and they've always had these people, and these people go on, and most of the time they lose their deposit, but they're there the next election and the next election. And that's what democracy is about: the ability to, that you can stand for election. So
I actually heard it as an insult the other day. Somebody was arguing on Facebook, and the response was, "Shut up, mate! You look like you're standing for a by-election in Clacton."
The count is one on that one alone. Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what the outcome of it is. I think the count's going to pick up a few votes.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting because your man in Ukraine, he was a TV comedian before.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
He actually starred in a sitcom as the Ukrainian president before he got elected as Ukrainian president.
And he's done a marvelous job since.
He has, mate.
Yeah.
So here you go, mate. Count Benfest might be just what the people of Clacton need.
I mean, he's already said it turned around. Well, let's face it. If he got elected, the tourists heading towards Clacton.
I just want to see him on Question Time, mate.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Are they going to be having, as they had with other by-elections, are they going to be having televised debates?
I don't think so. I think, I don't think Nigel is. I think he's politically savvy enough to know that will not look good in his CV.
So, for example, if the BBC turn around and say, right, we're going to have this political debate for the voters in Clacton to make a decision, we've invited the representatives who are standing, and you got Lawrence Fox as well as there.
Yeah.
So, and Nigel's not the only one that turns up.
Yeah. Well, but there are people there that would turn up for the opening of a kind of binge, mate. The loonies, the Restore people. I think they're standing.
No, Restore Britain are not standing.
Are they not? I think.
No.
I'm sure. I think it was maybe it was UKIP guy I seen.
Right.
Because they're still there.
Yeah.
I think it's a UKIP guy standing and a few others. But yeah, the people of Clacton. I mean, I've got no sympathy because they voted him in the first place.
Yep. Yeah.
So now is the chance to do something about it.
Yeah, and he hasn't been there for the surgeries, as they call them. Yeah, he's had no interaction with the people that voted him. Yeah. He has spent more time in Washington D.C. than he has in Clacton since he's been elected.
Well, that was it. I seen Count Benface be asked, like, if you win, we move to Clacton, and he says, I understand from the current incumbent that that's not a requirement.
Get in there. Good response. Yeah. So we've got these inquiries, his financial dealings. Let's be lenient on that word. This shenanigans that's going on, that appears to be going on. They will get investigated, and it's not up to the voters in Clacton to decide that he's got a popular mandate. It's the Ethics and Standards Committee, or Standards and Ethics Committees, and if anything illegal's been done, then it goes to the police and the CPS for prosecution. That's who decides that one. There's nothing to do with it, And certainly Farage calling the bloody by-election to try and dodge facing questions about it. That was never going to work.
Yeah, this is not America, mate. You don't become immune from prosecution just because you get elected.
Yeah.
Strange individual.
Well, he is, and it's a very strange party. And I've been on quite active on their on their social Facebook page. I'll get my words out correct tonight. See, what I need is coffee. Right? I've been very active this weekend on our Facebook page, Russ, and some of the incoming from let's say Farage supporters. Let's call them that. Because if I was to call them Nazis or fascists, troglodyte, basement-dwelling knuckle-draggers, it might cause offence. There you go, I said it anyway. It's been quite entertaining, and most of it I'm trying to intercept before it actually gets out there. some of it I can't because they sneak and do it on the wee hours. How's things been on the social media you're looking after? What's it been like?
Yeah, much the same, mate. There's always people who will dive in to defend it. And that's just the nature of social media.
Mm.
You know, you're going to get the trolls and the ne'er do wells. And the truth is, it gives you that kind of anonymity. And sometimes people will just argue for the sake of arguing. They have to kind of belittle it. And the truth is, it just shows me that they're scared. They're scared that we are making headway in our kind of anti-fascist, anti-reform, pro-independence stance.
Yeah.
You know, because yeah, if it was such a nothing to them, why engage? It's almost
Exactly.
that aspect of like, I need to tell you how much I don't care about you. Well, thanks, Mike. Cheers.
Yeah. One of the ones I got tonight was, I'm not bothered. Well, clearly you are because you're engaging me in conversation. Yeah. Oh,
I like
very,
that before,
very.
mate. People like Sean Ray, like, why do you keep responding? Like, because this is our page, mate.
Yeah.
You came here. You came into our house.
Yes. I'm an admin. I'm doing my admin job, for grief's sake.
You came into our house, mate. Yes,
Yeah.
we will keep going as long as we can.
Yeah. I had an absolute stormer on another page yesterday. Ended up calling me the C word because I was just not letting him off with it. Yeah, I was just dink, dink, dink. Yeah, he responded to one of my posts. So of course I'm going to, yeah, I'll see it through to its natural conclusion. Right now, what we doing? All right, yes, Keir Starmer. How long's he got left as Prime Minister, by the way? Have you heard anything about that?
I don't know, mate. There's I'm going to start off by saying I don't think he should have resigned.
Right.
I don't think he should have. I think, but what you're saying is it's just the same old Westminster politics. It doesn't change. I mean, Burnham will come in. He'll maybe make a few changes, and then it will just go back to business as usual.
Yeah.
It's the aspect of both sides pretending that they're whiter than white and leaping on perceived errors from the others and demanding resignations. You see it in Hollywood all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just a farce. It really is. The whole place needs closing down and revamping. It's pointless. It really is.
Yeah, there's never a Guy Fawkes around when you need one.
I know.
I know. I mean,
with absolutely to revamp it. And they had the chance with it was even watered down when they had the Tory Lib Dem coalition. They had the vote on, I think AVR, wasn't it, voting, and it was rejected. Even that's a watered down version of PR.
Yeah, it's they don't want to change, and this is one of my gripes about Westminster. Is one of my driving things to get Scottish independence, because on independence, or as we establish ourselves as an independent country on day one, we can have a system that works. We can look to other countries and say, right, that works, that definitely doesn't bloody work, so we can have that join it in as much the way I did when I was looking at how people used to teach lessons. In the military, I thought that works, that doesn't work. So when I went on to teach lessons, then I try and blend all the best parts of them. So with our independent parliament, let's get it up and running and take all the best from around the world, and then have it as our model. Because Westminster, they love calling themselves the mother of all parliaments. Absolute nonsense. Iceland was on the go before them. Right. It's absolutely terrible. The things that tone down there, and it's just, as you said, it's a revolt that there is. Was it talking heads? Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, it doesn't matter. This is the Tory talking head. This is the Labour talking head.
Yeah.
Lib Dems have never been anything since they messed up with the whole Ireland thing way back in 1914. So they've never been a contender since then. So it's always been Labour, Tory, and there's no difference at all. There
isn't.
may, yeah.
No, there
No,
isn't. You're right, and that's why you're seeing the rise of these more extremist kind of parties on the right.
Yeah.
And they're well funded because hate is profitable.
Hmm.
And you can see the influence from kind of Russia and the American right in British politics. You see it.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
otherwise, who gives £5 million to a dodgy proto-fascist politician
Yeah. What was the
out
reason?
of the
Yeah.
goodness of their heart?
Yeah. I mean, we could be classed, I suppose, as dodgy pseudo political thing. Have you had £5 million donated to you that you haven't
Yeah,
told me
yeah.
about?
I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't accept a £5 million gift from someone to sell their agenda,
Uh,
but the offer's not there, mate. So I'm never going
no,
to have that ethical quandary.
no. Yeah. And the thing with that, with again getting back to Farage, and we have to go back to him because he is such a clown. And he is a clown in the genuine sense of it. He's a dangerous, scary person. That's what clowns were. Yeah, there's nothing to laugh at. But yeah,
But the
he's
truth is,
changed.
the truth is, if you go back to the 1930s, mate, Mosley
Hmm.
in England had large groups of followers.
Hmm.
And if social media had been around at the time, he would have had more.
Yeah,
And he was when they thought he was a kind of serious threat.
yeah,
Unfortunately, um, the Battle of Cable Street sorted him out
yes, yeah,
and kind
yeah.
of
And
showed them up for
then
what they were.
yeah, and then the Second World
But
War started.
but
And things
he's the
like
reason. He's the reason now why political parties are not allowed to wear uniforms.
exactly. Well, I was going to come out with, and we've seen it in the press a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago that these
yeah,
lunatics were all dressed up
yeah,
and sort of pseudo paramilitary. Why don't they join up? See all these people that have been kicking about in the streets of Scotland lately, right?
yeah,
In the last few days in carry-on uniforms. Yeah. I'm always hearing from the extremists, the fundamentalists on the right there, men of, was it men of serving age or something like that, they call it.
yeah.
Right. Well, there's an awful lot of them in their carry-on uniforms kicking about the streets. Why don't you go and join
Yeah.
up? The military's screaming out for
Yeah,
volunteers.
all those white fighting age males that
Yes.
no one gives a shit about.
Yeah. It's we're, our armed forces need you. Go and join up.
Yeah,
But I can guarantee you, they will not be down in the recruiting office tomorrow morning.
no,
Yeah,
of course
or
they
any
won't.
other morning. All right. Because the lack of yeah.
Yeah, definitely, mate. That's the best guaranteed way of stopping the boats is to have peace
Yeah.
in the nations that they're coming from. So
Yeah.
the best way of doing that is become a politician, join the army, and help do that.
Yep.
Uh,
Get us back into the EU, trigger
yeah,
the Dublin Agreement again.
yeah. Because
No problem.
painting roundabouts ain't going to cut it.
No, no. Hurling wheelie bins at motels. Yeah, and that's just another thing that the far right's coming out. Oh, it's a threat. We're under threat. All our politicians are under threat, etc. Really, you weren't saying that when your followers who you had whipped up into a frenzy with the words you were using
Yeah, yeah,
were lobbing firebombs into hotels containing innocent people.
yeah,
No, that doesn't count.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we condemned that. No, you didn't.
Yeah, yeah,
But again, it's the Trumpian response.
yeah.
It's that aspect of they use the language to inflame, and then step back and deny any responsibility.
Not me. I'm innocent. No, you're not
Yeah, yeah,
innocent. Words have meaning, and we know that.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And
that's why.
there's people out there that will act on them.
Yes, yeah, yeah. You got the great grifter where's he living now? Spain or something like that. Tommy 12 names.
Stephen Yaxley Lennon,
Yeah, that's the one.
Tommy
Yeah,
10 names.
yeah. He's yeah.
He's spotted. He's been spotted in Russia. I don't know how long ago that was, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
pretty much. And
Oh
every time he
yeah.
gets arrested, mate, a new GoFundMe goes up, and people send him money.
Yeah. Musk's father took him out to Russia.
Yeah.
And at that time, Yates and Lenin turned around and he said he admired the way Putin had gotten things together in Russia.
Mm.
That tells you all you need to know about that sniveling little rat.
Yeah.
And if there's any of his supporters listening in, I'll say it again. He's a sniveling little rat. Okay.
Yeah. Grifter. It's all a grift, mate.
Yeah.
They've seen. I mean, I think what was I seeing? The thing that I know this is kind of off topic a wee bit, but it was the guy. I think he might have been Singaporean or something, but he basically created a right-wing AI blonde woman.
Right.
And basically the right wing sent him fucking millions on his social, just on social media. Just created this character, like AI animated and all that, talking about God, guns in America, and the right wing just threw money at him. They paid all his college fees and everything.
You know what? I've no problem with that whatsoever.
We missed a trick, mate. We missed a trick. Maybe we should have been veterans for the Union.
Yeah, you're pulling guard duty for the next month after that one, buddy.
But he tried it, didn't he? Farage tried to set up his Veterans for Reform thing.
What happened to them? I mean, they were popping up just before the Scottish elections.
Yeah, that seemed to disappear, didn't it?
Yeah, of course it would, because and that had nothing to do with us two getting on their net.
Yeah, I know. It was, yeah. But that's the thing, they were used, mate, because Reform knew that they were only ever going to get people in on the list in the Scottish elections. So all these veterans that they got to stand in the constituency, they knew they weren't going to get in. They were window dressing.
Yeah.
They were cannon fodder.
Yep. Used and abused.
They were never going to get in.
Nope.
No chance. But they did it. You've seen them. You've seen the videos with them with their regimental regalia on and stuff.
Yeah.
I said at the time they're not getting in.
Yeah. Now, talking of cannon fodder, the Armed Forces bill. Woohoo!
Yes, I think we mentioned before they've now raised the reserve liability, haven't they, to 65?
Yep, gone up from 55 to 65.
And like I said, so there was always two forms of reserve service. There was regular reserve, which lasted up to you were 55, and then there was long-term reserve, which went up to you were 65. But what they've done now is they've just combined it. It's now just reserve.
Right.
So effectively, regular reserve would be you could be recalled for things like Afghanistan and back in the day when they mobilised reserves and things like that. 65 would be national emergencies. You're talking the Russians are coming up the Clyde.
Yeah.
But now they're saying that they need it to be 65 for everything. So you could be mobilised for things like flood relief or community support stuff.
Yeah. I'm sitting here with a big smile on my face because I'm 65 in 2 months, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm out of it.
You still get you in, mate. You're
not going to happen.
You're going to be the air raid warden, mate, from Dad's army. That's what you're going to be.
Yeah, I'm good at that. Yeah. Get that friggin' light out. Yeah.
Oh,
I can. I've got an. Yeah, I can do this. I'll be practicing this. Yeah, my wife is going to love you for this, Russ. Yeah. So.
But yeah, that armed forces, bill. They're talking about all the money, but they're taking it from the housing, the accommodation budget.
Yeah.
So the one thing that troops have been whinging about for years now, the state of the accommodation. Sorry, you can't have that money now. We're going to use that for some shiny new toys.
Yeah, which is going to leave their dependents sitting at home in crap accommodation where the service personnel is deployed. They're going to come back and go, you're going nowhere else again. They sign off.
And we spoke about this, mate, because the truth is now the biggest threats are cyber and electronic. I see that in Ukraine where they've taken out billions of pounds worth of Russian equipment with 50 quid drones. That's fine because Ukraine has no wish to occupy any part of Russia.
Yeah.
But if you want to occupy ground and retain ground, then you've got to have boots on the ground. So it doesn't matter how much fancy gadgets you've got. You've got to have troops available if that's your end goal is to occupy.
And all the money is going for tier 1. It's leaving everybody else behind. And the accommodation thing's going to be a big one. I mean, it's what, a third of the military is married or living with cohabiting. So it's a huge group of people that are not going to be happy.
I said this before, mate, because of course we need three battalions of parachutists.
Yeah.
Who've not jumped in combat since 1944.
Yeah. It's all bragging rights, same as their nukes.
It is. I know, no disrespect to our airborne brothers, but they even sorted that out because now you have to actually be in an airborne post to get your parapay. Whereas it used to be you were qualified, you got paid. Now you actually have to be in a unit where that's established for somebody who's parachute trained.
I think the last jump was the Suez, isn't it? Canal Zone.
I don't know. My military history. I was a shiny arse. I just pretend to be knowledgeable at military matters.
I'm pretty sure it was the Canal Zone was the last combat jump they did. But you're right, because everybody went away, did their all arms para course, came back, and we're getting jump pay. And now I can't afford that. And it's
and they would do it, and they'd bugger off every year and do that because you have to do so many jumps every year to keep it. They'd bugger off and do the jumps, and then what happened was, because that got shut down, it was really difficult to get on the jumps because the planes didn't have the hours. So people were actually dipping out on the money, and rather than put more money on to have the planes on to do the jumps, went, well, we'll just stop paying them.
Yeah, which is a typical thing. If we do have a war and touch with it never happens, they're going to be the same as every other time we've gone to war. They're going to be looking around, giving it, where's our military gone? Our military is gone. Where you put it?
And a nice comment here from Kirsten. I don't think they'll have any over 60s jumping out of a plane. Can you imagine all the hip replacements needed? I love it.
Kirsty, spot on.
I used to work with a guy who was an LE, so he'd gone through the ranks, lieutenant colonel, para trained, and he was allowed to jump, right? But because he was a bit overweight, he was only allowed to carry a pistol. It was the only kit he was allowed to have in addition to his parachute. Otherwise, he would have dropped like a stone.
Put a cargo chute in that one.
You're like, you can still jump, but you can't carry loads of kit with
you. forget the drop bag. That's not going anywhere near you.
You're not having that.
Ross, are you noticing our time, buddy?
I am, mate. I am. So it's all fun times, mate. And the truth is, if it kicks off, if there's civil unrest in the UK, or be that mainland UK or Northern Ireland, I don't think we have the resources to deal with it.
Nope.
We don't. We're currently focused on. I don't think we're focused on anything at the minute. We can't do it. It has to be, and we've isolated all our friends and neighbours. We're pissed off the EU.
Yeah.
We'd have to go to NATO and hope they would bug in, but currently Trump's not a fan of NATO.
Yeah.
So what would they do? Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, it's we are living in interesting times, my mate. We are living in interesting times.
Definitely.
So the Clacton by-election is due on the 13th of August. So we are next on the... When's our next one, Russ?
When's our next one? I don't know. It's the second Monday, mate.
That's like higher mathematics.
That'll be the 10th, mate. So we're on before it.
Right.
The 10th of August.
Right.
And on that note, we are out of time for this evening, folks.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
for joining
Cheers.
us. We do
Cheers.
appreciate it.
Yeah, cheers for everybody that chipped in. It's an absolute pleasure, as always, to sit down in front of the camera and have a chat with you fine folks. Josie's just put up the Scotland flag, and I think that's the Argentinian flag that's gone up there. And I have absolutely no problems at all with Scottish supporters supporting Argentina on Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely.
I've actually got them down to win the competition. And I'm sure that will draw some more flack from the knuckle draggers. Who cares? Anyway, remember, folks, our future is incredibly bright. Independence is right.
Everyone, take care. Thank you so much. Be good.
Cheers.